everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to our third video that is all Christmassy themed. I guess I'll go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm wearing this Christmas overalls here, and then I have little bells and glitter. I love Christmas, so I always go all out for it. Today we are making Buckeyes, which have always been like one of my favorite desserts. It's one that we make every year for Christmas pretty much. Like we always made it around the holidays, either Thanksgiving or Christmas. But I've always loved peanut butter and chocolate. I think it's like the best combination ever to exist. It's so delicious and they're so rich. If you are a fellow lover of rich foods, this is the recipe for you. So these are paleo. Yeah, let's go ahead and I'll tell you how I made them. So first thing we're going to do is work on the peanut butter filling, of course. We're going to cream together. I feel like that's the starting of every dessert I make. We're always creaming something together. We're gonna cream together our ghee, and we're going to use just 2 tablespoons just to add a little bit of oil for the structure, 3 tablespoons of coconut butter, and then a ½ cup of Lakanto, and then we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and we're gonna cream all that together. Now, the coconut butter, it's doing several things here. One, it's going to help with like the stabilization of our balls. It has a lot of coconut oil in it, and it just will help them to firm up and be more firm. Keep their shape. And then it's gonna add that richness to the Buckeyes that the original ones have. This is like a very rich dessert, and coconut butter will add that. It's just very sweet and rich on its own. Another thing I wanted to add about the coconut butter that I use is whenever I get a new jar, it's always pretty hard. I usually get like a little butter knife, get all of that out into a large bowl, and for like the jar that I use, I usually put about like a heaping ½ cup of coconut oil in, and then with my hand mixer, I'll just mix it together till it's really nice and creamy. It goes to a frosting texture. So that's how I like to do my coconut butter. If you don't do that to your jars, I would probably suggest getting maybe like 1½ tablespoons of the coconut butter, a ½ tablespoon of the coconut oil, and just melt that in the microwave before you put it in. So sorry for that long-winded detour there, but I just wanted to mention that because it's kind of important, I feel like, for the recipe. Yeah. Okay, so now that those are all creamed and fluffy, we're gonna go ahead and add in our peanut butter, and I used ½ cup, and I just stirred that in real quick just to see where the texture was at, because I was gonna add in coconut flour and I wasn't sure how much I'd need. I ended up going with 2 tablespoons. The reason I picked coconut flour is because it's not as grainy as almond flour, so you won't really taste that in the balls, just as long as you don't use too much. We're gonna mix that all together, and it'll make kind of a little creamy dough there. It's still a little soft. I would say pop it in the freezer, or I did the fridge for around 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just so it can get hard enough to where you can roll it into balls easy without it just sticking to your hands, but you don't want it too cold to where it's like a brick. I have a little scoop that we have that is the perfect size anytime I make little truffles. It's probably around like a heaping tablespoon if you just wanted to use that for reference, or you could just eyeball it. Either way works. But we're just gonna roll that, set it on a tray. Mine is lined with a little silicone mat, and then we'll pop that in the freezer for, gosh, as long as you can. I usually like to leave them for at least ½ an hour, because the more firm they get, you don't want them to start melting when you're dipping in the chocolate. That just makes a mess. So the longer the better. And then in the meantime, I'd say maybe about 5 to 10 minutes before you think the balls will be done, start working on the chocolate sauce. Once it's just melted, that's when the best time. I find sometimes reheating up chocolate sauce, it can get ruined for whatever reason. It's just very temperamental. So we're gonna heat up on the stove 3 ounces of our chocolate, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I put 1/4 cup of maple syrup and a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're just going to stir all the ingredients in there till they melt together. This is pretty simple sauce, real easy. Once it was pretty much almost done, it was a little bit too thick for my liking. I want it to be a little thinner. You can add water or coconut milk or almond milk or something like that. I was going to use coconut milk. The one we had opened in the fridge smelled a little suspicious, and I didn't want to open a whole nother can, so I just put some water in there. So I put 3 tablespoons in, and it was a really nice consistency. We just want it to be runny enough to where we can dip it, but, you know, not too runny. That perfect medium. So as you can see, I'm showing it to the camera there. that perfect glossy chocolate sauce. I went ahead and got our little peanut butter balls out of the freezer. I used a little skewer that we have. You can use toothpicks. You're just gonna insert it in the middle, dip it in, roll it around. As you can see, because our balls are nice and hard, I'm just twisting our skewer around to get all the excess chocolate, and then we're just sticking it down. I maybe took it up a little too high. I know some people bring it down lower. Some people bring it halfway up. I just like a little more chocolate on there. But we're just gonna dip them in, twist, get all the excess off, and then plop it down and then push our finger to get it out. And then they are perfect, and you'll just need to pop it back in the freezer for like 5-10 minutes, and then they'll be perfect to eat. Yeah, this is a super simple recipe. If you're not much of like a baker that wants to be in the kitchen for hours on end making one dessert, this is really, really easy. You just mix things in a bowl and then dip in chocolate. So I'll go ahead and pop up on screen a picture of the little finished product so you can see the Buckeyes close up. Like I said, this is one of my favorite Christmas desserts. I loved it. I cannot get enough peanut butter and chocolate. It's my favorite. Yeah, so if you guys try these out, please let me know, because I'd love to know how they turned out and if you liked them. I'm really proud of how they turned out. I know I say that a lot. I don't know, I guess I'm just very proud of myself. But yeah, I was proud of how they tasted because I feel like they taste pretty darn close to the original thing. I think the secret is definitely that coconut butter. It does yield a baker's dozen, which is 13 if you don't know, because the baker has the taste test. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments what desserts you are baking this holiday season for Christmas. I am making a turtle cheesecake and then those sugar cookies that I posted on my channel. And then me and my mom are gonna try to make this like cranberry cake. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, let me know what desserts you guys are baking. I'd love to know. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. If you were excited to try Buckeyes. Hopefully I can get this video up before Christmas. I post on Wednesdays and it is Tuesday right now. I was sick this week and I have felt horrible. So I'm gonna try to edit for the rest of the day and get it up. It might be the new year before a video comes up and you'll be wondering why I'm still dressed like this, so hopefully it'll still be relevant. Alright, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.